Well, we've talked about before about the situation going on in Leicestershire, where you've got a 19-year-old and a 20-year-old, respectively, one in charge of, child services, the other one in charge of adult services. I'm pretty sure at that moment you can probably see the problem with someone that young being in charge of such an important position, especially as the previous occupier of the role has spoken out and said, why are you putting a 19-year-old who is still at university in such an important position? Particularly as well when they don't even have any policy. And once again, I want to remind you that this is Reform UK, a party that ran at the local elections saying how better they would be than any other party, that they would hit the ground running. And as we've already been seeing and documenting, they've certainly hit the ground, just not running. They've hit it literally face palmed, face first. And just yesterday, we highlighted the absolute peak I've seen so far of incompetence from Reform UK. However, you might have read down below, you might have even seen the title, so you know what's coming. Now, I want to stipulate, I do not have a problem with an 18-year-old who might want to run for local office. Hey, it's happened in my hometown. But here's the thing. The Labour Party that's in charge here did not put someone that young in charge in an important cabinet role that requires you to at least have some knowledge about, the importance of like safeguarding children or in the particular of adult social care services, where you are sort of, responsible for making sure that, a lot of these, adults that might have, severe disabilities or anything like that, that they get taken care of. I think maybe making sure you have something like that that's kind of important. And it's very clear that they have no idea what they are doing. Why on earth you would put someone like that in charge of two very important services boggles my mind. However, in Warwickshire, you've just had an even worse thing probably happen to you because your council boss just quit, leaving now the 18-year-old deputy of the council now in charge. Will he end up being elected the new leader? Well, congratulations, Warwickshire. You've got now an 18-year-old potentially in charge of your council, at least for the time being. Will it become permanent? Who knows? But why on earth would you allow someone that young to be in charge of such an important position, who, again, clearly knows nothing about the role, what it entails? And as we saw yesterday from Nottinghamshire, I am pretty sure that is the norm for most reform councillors. So, as always, before we do get more into this, please do remember to hit the like, hit the share button. Of course, down below, there's a link to my Patreon page, the One Foundation link called Buy Me Coffee, the YouTube thank you button, and of course, as always, there is the YouTube membership down below as well. And of course, it was Wednesday yesterday, so there is a Pony Club video. I did upload it a lot later than I normally do, but it is there. So yeah, go give it a watch. So let's crack on then into this because, oh boy. Council boss quits, leaving 18-year-old in charge. I could not think of a worse scenario. Anyway, the recently elected leader of Warwickshire County Council has now resigned, leaving now his 18-year-old deputy in charge. Reform UK councillor Rob Howard released a short statement in which he said he had made the decision with much regret. Gee, what's with all these reform councillors who have been getting these roles and then just leaving? Like, I just don't know. I generally just do not know what is going on in this party. But so many of these people ran to be elected, and then now they've been in the position and they just leave because I think they recognize that they can't hack it, that they can't do the job, that they just do not have the skill set for it. And they're making excuses now to leave before, well, something goes wrong and, well, they get the blame. So, Howard was, of course, elected back in May when Reform made gains in the local elections, becoming the largest party in Warwickshire and, of course, forming a minority administration. The outgoing leader cited his health as the reason for this decision. Again, why, honestly, was this? Did he just discover he had health issues? Or what? Did he not realize the role? And this is what he wanted to say. He said, the role of leader is, of course, an extremely demanding role. And regretfully, my health challenges now prevent me from carrying out this role to the level of standard that I would wish. I think you would have recognized that maybe when you decided you wanted this role, because you don't just have it forced upon you. You say, I want to be the leader. And this guy stood for leader of this council. I am sorry. I have no sympathy for this guy. I have no sympathy for this guy whatsoever. And no one should anyone else, to be honest. Anyway, he also confirmed that his current deputy, George Finch, would serve as interim leader until the council confirmed a new leader at due course. Mr. Finch declined to speak to the BBC about the changes on Thursday, but issued a statement in which he said there would be a leadership election in the next week. Yeah. This, of course, continues, still very much so, the fact that a lot of the Reform councillors know full well you do not do a media appearance because, well, we saw what happened yesterday when they make a media appearance. Anyway, Mr. Finch, or Councillor Finch, went on to say, we want to make sure the election process is fair and that candidates are competing on a level playing field. Let us see where we are in a week's time, he added. I wonder if Reform lose control of this council. I have to say, I wonder if they will lose control of this council, because I can highly expect the opposition, again, depends on the seat numbers, etc. But I would not be surprised if the other parties go, yeah, we don't want Reform in charge. We've seen the mess that they are going to make. It's only been, just almost about 2 months, but yeah, we don't want that to continue. We've seen this happen in other councils where the parties have gone, yeah, no, let's instead, group together and stop this from happening. We've seen it in Cornwall, we've seen it in Northamptonshire. Again, we'll cover that interesting update on that story soon. But yeah, wouldn't surprise me, again, depending on the numbers, if they maybe lose control of this council. Anyway, speaking to the BBC earlier this month, Howard said he was not, quote, intimidated by the challenge of running the local authority with a £1.5 billion of assets and a revenue budget of about £500 million. Yeah, not intimidated, but now, I'm just standing back for my health issues. No. He's realized how difficult it is. He's realized how much he could screw up. So he stood down. I would not be surprised if a lot of them are realizing, actually, this is more difficult than they thought, and they're standing down. Any excuse to get out of it. Despite, of course, resigning with a top job with immediate effect, Howard confirmed that he would, of course, be staying on as a county councillor. Oh, really? Really? So you've got that bad a health issue that you cannot continue as leader, but you're willing to stay on as county councillor. I would have thought that if you've had, apparently, as he said, with such serious health issues, you would not be able to stay on as county councillor. Anyway, With his outgoing speech, he said, "I'm honoured and, of course, privileged to have held the role, even if only for a short time. I remain committed to my commitment to the role of working as a county councillor for the benefit of the Warwickshire residents," he said. Really? Then why did you give up being leader? And if you have such serious health conditions, why are you continuing to be a county councillor? Mr. Finch was, of course, councillor for Bedworth Central and was a member of the Conservative Party for 3 months before switching to Reform on the grounds that it would be better to tackle illegal immigration. On the new Reformer website, he has said that his politics could be summed up as Brexit sovereignty and a strong and united family unit. Yeah. I have no sympathy for this guy. But I'm sorry, but if you've got such health issues, that your health challenges, according to you, your health challenges prevent you from carrying out the role to the level and standard you would wish. Why are your health issues also not going to stop you continuing your role as a councillor? No, he has realized, oh, if this goes wrong, it's all on me. It's all on me. And I think he's realized that. So he's like, I'm not going to hold this. I'm passing it off. And I'll tell you this now. I would not be shocked if that 18-year-old takes his place, because that will be typical Reform. And that 18-year-old has got zero clue about what the hell he's doing. So, good luck, Warwickshire. Good luck. So, as always, thank you very much for watching. And of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.